y'all, I have the new GlamLite Fresh Prince collaboration collection and I am beyond excited. Like any true 90s kid, I love Fresh Prince. And if you're new here, hey, I'm Heather. We're gonna go through the whole collection. We have eyeshadow palette, highlighters, lip gloss, lash, setting spray. We're gonna talk about it all. I have my neons on. I am 90s themed and I'm just ready to create. I wanna talk about this collection individually. It is available now at GlamLite. My affiliate code with GlamLite is HeatherAustin. I will list that in the description box. I will link everything. All the information you need will be in the description box and in a pinned comment. I've zoomed you in a bit because I want to show you everything in this collection. I want to apply it together. I want to talk about it. We're going to start though with the lip gloss duo. When I saw these, my immediate thought was, those are so ugly in the best way. Like ugly is a compliment because it's so 90s extra. It looks like a toy I probably had as a kid. And I cannot wait to possess these, to own these, to have these. I have nothing on my lips, so we're gonna start with the blue, the one in the blue packaging. And these are both sheer glosses. I was invited to the GlamLite Fresh Prince launch party, celebration party. I got to go, me and my best friend Angie and Yelika Nikvist. We met up there, we shared a hotel, had nightmare of a travel situation, but that did not take away from the fact that we had such a great time at the party. Here's this gloss, the blue microphone on my lips now. You can see it's very sheer. It has a hint of pinkness, something to it. I'm going to swatch it on my hand for you too so that you can see it not only on my lips but on my hand. I'm going to wipe this off and we're going to try on the pink one. This gloss seems like it has maybe just a smidge more pigment, not a ton, still very sheer. But it's more of a light pink, a little bit more of a milky pink. We did get to see this collection at the party, and then it came in a beautiful Fresh Prince box, but unfortunately I wasn't able to bring it home with me. I only traveled with my carry-on, so it would not fit in my carry-on. Here's one last look at the gloss. I really like this one. I like this color. I'm just gonna grab a lip liner and then do gloss. Tell me this highlighter packaging is not the most genius thing you've ever seen for a collaboration. You cannot do it. They pulled this directly from the theme song for Fresh Prince. I mean, the license plate said fresh and had a dice in the mirror. How perfect is this? GlamLite makes intense highlighters. They are not for the no makeup look. They are giving you, bam, I am here, look at my skin glow. Beautiful. And let's give these a little swatch together really quick. It's kind of hard to show you in the pan because the packaging is metallic and like it can be hard to show that. Also a sparkle. Their highlighters have a sparkle. It's not a chunky glitter, but there is a sparkle. I can really like that because it can make the cheek look wet and intense, and I am not trying to go for a subtle, I just woke up like this look. I'm going for a, my makeup is here look, type of look. I also really like these types of highlighters if I want to do something shimmery like on my décolleté, on my shoulders. You can kind of get a big fluffy brush and kind of glow up your body. I love that, but we're gonna keep it on the face today, okay? We're gonna keep it on the face. I just want to use Chillin' Out. I really do. This is the shade I was most excited for. I think this is one of the most different shades to the GlamLite line. If you're like me and you love their stuff, this one I think looks the most unique. So I'm gonna take it on my Singe brush and I'm just going to highlight. See, that's pretty. Oh, that's pretty. And it's not giving me, oh my gosh, she has orange, pink glitter stripe on her cheek. Like, no. It is blending in exactly how I want it to. It's giving me that glow, but it's not a stripe. It's like, ooh, where does it start? Where does it end? That is stunning. And you know what? I'm a more is more type of person. Like, why do a little when I can do more? Let's do more. Let's go in for a little bit of the more pinky purple. And we'll keep that kind of back here, almost pulling it up to the temple. We're gonna use our GlamLite Fresh Prince setting spray. I'm gonna make sure all of my hair is back out of the way. Let me show, I've got a lemonade hair. Let me push my lemonade out of the way and let's look at this. That's a fine mist. That is a fine mist. Okay, are we ready? Let me get my little fan. I'm gonna let the setting spray dry down and we're gonna see how it kind of makes the makeup sink into the skin. I really like that when setting sprays do that, but I wanna let it fully dry down. This setting spray claims to be hydrating and also a setting spray that extends the wear of your makeup. So that's gonna take me a while to test and review. I'm gonna have to wear it on multiple different days and let you know. But my first impression is that the spray was nice, because I hate a spray that comes out and ruins my makeup with these heavy droplets and then you're like, what am I supposed to do now? I hate that. That's not this. You saw it's a very fine mist. It's not feeling heavy or anything like that on my skin. It's feeling nice. But as far as the long wear claims go, time will tell, and I'll definitely be following up. I love this packaging though, looking like a spray can, because how 90s and how Fresh Prince is that. I mean, they even have like the paint splatter. That's just a good time. That is just a good time. In the PR Box collection, there is a LA Philly ticket. I thought that was a really cute detail. I have fun with makeup and I appreciate some things that are over the top and just extra for the sake of being extra, and this little ticket is definitely extra for the sake of being extra. We're gonna play with the last two items in this collection. I do have a pair of lashes. Look at this cassette tape. I think these lashes are gonna be beautiful. We'll definitely trim these to my eyes, but for me, always the star of the show is the eyeshadow palette. We have the Fresh Prince 15 color palette. We've got Will on the front looking cool, and then we have neons inside. And I want to know, is this the amazing GlamLite formula? Is this the formula that I'm like, wow, you were one of my favorite palettes ever? My eyeshadow primer is on, and I am going to zoom y'all in a bit closer, but I wanted to point out too that I really like that this palette goes really dark. I think it was such a smart move to put a deep black in here because it gives versatility. You can deepen things up if you want to. I like that we have a lot of matte options. I like that we have some very light shimmer shades, and I'm just really looking forward to creating. We're gonna create one look today, but you know I always follow up, so definitely subscribe if you don't want to miss out on my future review of this after I've tested and tried all the shades, because yes, I do upload a lot of videos every week, but I wear makeup even when I'm not filming, okay? So I'm constantly testing and trying things, and I'll definitely be using this. I want to start though, like, I can't not use this hot pink. This is the shade that is calling to me so much. It just jumps out at me, and I'm wearing this green shade. My nails are this yellowy green. So let's do some contrast to all of this with this pink shade. I'm going to press this shadow on. I'm keeping it in the inner part of my socket. I'm gonna press, and I'm using a rougher brush. I will list the brushes for y'all so that you can check them out if you're curious, but you see how pink that is? I love to blend, but when I'm working with shadows that are this bright, this vibrant, and this light, like a bright neon-y shade, what I do first is I want to press it right on top of my primer. And then once I have it pressed on, then I can kind of go back and blend. And I'll do that as we go, but I really just want to focus on where I'm placing the shades right now. And then I can blend in just a bit, but I kind of want to just do this kind of motion, get that color laid down, and then I'll go back and blend in a minute. I really want to use this shade right here. This shade is called Love at First Sight. So we used Bel Air. I want to use Love at First Sight, and then I also want to use Pool House. I think I'll mix a little bit of Pool House and Waterworks together. Did you see the embossing on the pan? I'm sure you did when I showed you the close-up of the palette, but I think that's so fun. I always appreciate that. It's the little details that put things to the next level for me. But we're gonna start with the shade Love at First Sight, the more tealy green type of color. I've got this on my brush. I'm going to kind of wing it out just a little bit, but not like a wing, more like just taking the shadow in that shape. And I'm also going to bring it a little bit under the lower lash line right here, just in the outer corner, And again, I'm kind of packing and then blending. I just want this not to be sharp, but to create the shape of up and out on my eye. I mixed those purples to create a little custom color that we're gonna put in between the pink and the kind of green. I'm gonna take my time, and I'm using a very small brush to create a little bit of a blend. Now these are different colors, and I want them to be different colors on the eyes. And I want to make sure I don't make things muddy when I blend, but I don't want it to be choppy. So I'm gonna be very careful, making sure I don't overblend, but that I also blend enough. I'm gonna take my time. This is definitely not the type of look I would do when I'm like, oh, I have 2 minutes and I need to be out the door. This is I have time to play, I have time to blend, I wanna create, I wanna have fun. So I'm just gonna take a little time doing this like so, blending, adding if I need to. And once I get how I'm happy with, I'm gonna take a clean, very fluffy brush, and I will blend just along the edges with no product, just to diffuse things like that. Now, if you see a little texture on my lids, that's my lids, it's not the shadows. Traveling to LA was a nightmare. I ended up spending the night sleeping on a bench in the airport, and when I say sleeping, I mean laying there crying, not sleeping. And I'm dehydrated, so my skin is not at its best point. It's gonna be fine. It's not that big a deal. It's really not that serious, but I did want to let you know in case you were like, oh, I feel like I see a little texture on your lid. It's not the shadows, it is definitely my lids. Here's what we're looking like so far, and I have to say, even though I do have like a little bit of dry, flaky skin and texture on my lids right now, the shadows are gliding over everything so beautifully and blending beautifully. I'm super happy with that. I want to deepen up the lower lash line a bit, and to do that, I debated pulling in this shade right here, but I think what I'm actually going to do is mix both of these shades to create a custom color and kind of keep this coming over. It's Love at First Sight and the blues are what I'm gonna kind of mix. I'm going to drag this underneath. So you see how just adding in a little bit of that deeper blue gave it a little more depth than what we have out here, but it's still cohesive. That's what I was going for. That's exactly what I was going for. But I do want to bring this pretty low. Listen, you think I'm going for subtlety with this look? No, I'm not. Just in case you were like, are you going for a subtle look? No, I want to bring this low. I want to be able to see it even once I have my mascara on the bottom lashes. So we're going to blend it back and forth until I'm happy with the way it's looking. Now, what shimmer to use? That is the hard part. I think I want to use just 2 different shimmers. I could squeeze in 3, but I want to let one kind of have its moment. I know you already saw the swatches, but I have not swatched yet. Oh, that's pretty. Let's do these 2 right here. Well, you can't see, they're so shiny. Big Banks and Prince. I'm gonna start with Prince. I'm gonna pick it up on my brush, and then I'm gonna spray my brush with setting spray after I have the shadow on my brush. I'm looking down into my mirror, and I'm gonna press this shadow directly onto my lid. That is stunning. I'm glad I went with the 1 shade all over the lid and let that have like its impactful moment. I'm not covering up what we did in the outer corner, but I am taking it up higher than my lid, almost a little into the socket. I'm taking that Big Banks shade, did not spray my brush, using a fluffier brush, and I'm gonna pack that on the inner corner and then slightly blend. I think any of the highlighter shades like from the face palette would be really pretty on the eyes too, but I want to keep this look to just the palette. That's beautiful. This is going to be our complete eye look. I am going to throw on a liner and a lash. I'm going to use the lash from this collection, and I'm going to trim them to fit my eye shape, and I will be right back. Here is our finished look. I love my look. I think it's so fun. I love the pink, purple, and this teal, greeny blue together. I'm so here for it. It is so early 90s. Like, 90, 91, 92, 93. Like, I'm so here for it. I think it's very fresh prints. I want to quickly round up my thoughts on these products. If you love fresh prints, I think you will be happy with the entire collection. I definitely don't think you're going to regret your purchase. If you love makeup, I think every single piece of this collection was really, really beautiful. If I could only get 3 things from the collection, I would buy these 3. The lip gloss duo, the highlighter trio, and the eyeshadow palette. I think these are just so fun, so over the top, so 90s. I like the lashes. I like the setting spray. Again, that one will take me longer to review for sure. But these 3, I think, are the kind of funnest pieces of the collection. If I could only get 2 things, it would be these 2 things. The highlighter palette, the eyeshadow palette. I love palettes. I think they're so fun. If you want to know, like, if I can only get one thing, I would say just pick. Do you want highlighters or do you want eyeshadows? The quality of the eyeshadow palette and the highlighter palette are consistent with what I expect from GlamLite. It's not the good GlamLite eyeshadow formula, it is the amazing GlamLite eyeshadow formula. Absolutely beautiful. I don't see any direct repeat shades from their Rick and Morty palette, which is their colorful palette that I love. There are some different tones in here. I'm not saying you need it. I'll never tell you you need anything, but if you didn't buy Rick and Morty and you wanted something a little smaller, Rick and Morty was maybe just too busy, I think you cannot go wrong with this palette. It's a little more condensed, but if you have Rick and Morty and you're a more type of person like me and you're like, but I still want this, I just don't want exact shades, I don't think you're going to be disappointed with that. I'm super happy with this collection. Definitely check out my GlamLite playlist if you're curious about any of their other collections because I love reviewing their stuff. If they didn't send me this collection, I would buy it myself. A lot of the videos on my GlamLite playlist are things that I did by myself, so definitely check that out. I have so many videos about makeup here on my channel, so hang out and talk about makeup with me.